Welcome back to the SYFA Network. Now we're talking about Division II.
The Division II.
The Division II.
Most competitive division out here.
I think we can all agree on that.
We may be a little biased, but still.
Three
Just
number one
look at-
seeds.
Just look at it. Just look at the record. Look at the standings.
From top to bottom, I will say it's the most competitive division. Where do we start? All three teams at 9-1. The Voodoo, the Cowboys, the Saints. How do you determine? Point differential, points scored, points against. How do you come up with a solution or a calculation?
Card draw.
I
Pull the numbers.
think that they really should go by points given up, because it doesn't force someone to run a score up on another team that may not be as fortunate to have the right players or playing for the future for, with 9-year-olds as opposed to 10-year-olds. And I think, showing the defense, you're not showing anybody up by stopping them.
I'm kind of agreeing with that.
I think that points given up should be what they ought to go to by in the future, in my opinion.
We may have to bring that up at the rules change, because that is very good.
I agree with that.
And that is a very good idea, and that can go for all the divisions.
Right. And then with a lot of this card stuff, I mean, really, some people might have earned a right to be the number 1 seed or number 2 or however, and then, it's up for debate, but I think it's a way you're not running it up on anybody.
There's teams out there that score 230 points, but give up 150. In some cases, 260 points scored, 25 points against. That's pretty tough numbers to get beat.
So you guys, we have a situation in Division II, and as you can see, we need more dialogue. If you have any good ideas out there, let's get together and talk about it, because it's very tough to tell a team that went 9-1 that you're number 3 seed and you have to play early and not get that bye. So hopefully the schedule will work itself out. Normally it does, but not this year, and we're going to have to vote on it and make a change, because whether I'm involved or not, I wouldn't want to pull a ticket for a seat. That's tough. But
It is what it is.
it is what it is, and if you're the best, no matter what seed you come in at, you should make it to 7. That's just my opinion. Let's get started. Number 1 seed from the draw, Voodoo. Number 2 seed, Cowboys. Number 3, the Saints. They will open up Tuesday night versus the Tigers. We have a major injury in Saints camp. How do you see it playing out, Ron?
It's going to be tough. From what I hear, it's still a game time decision. He may be 100%, he may not. We don't know. It's a game time decision. If, and it's a big if, number 5 plays. Number 5 plays, the Saints win hands down. If not, Tigers. So basically what I'm saying is I'm up in the air. I'm really up in the air on this game.
Ask you a question, Swan. You said if number 5 play, the Saints will win
100%.
Well, he won't be 100%. He was limping just today, and that's what, 48 hours away out, unless they got some miracle grease out there. I don't think we can get up to 100%. But
Can we get Mr. Miyagi on the phone?
Well,
Dr. Andrews called these.
Can we get Mr. Miyagi on the phone?
yeah, that's a tough.
So what you're saying is, look, we have an insider from Saints camp.
Well, let's let Sporting News start off with the pick. Maybe he have a little bit more insight.
No problem.
Well, I spoke to somebody really close to the Saints camp, a friend of mine, G Unit, and he gave some inside information to me a little bit about some of the things on the injury in the Saints. And the Saints, they had a tough one against the Buccaneers. The kid had gotten hurt before we can actually have another practice, so we had a lot of players moving around, playing in different areas. I mean, the Bucs won the game. No, nothing about that. They took care of business. The Saints will be a little bit more ready for this game, and if we can get 60 to 70% out of number 5, I believe that the Saints would win. However, I do think that on paper you would have to say that the Tigers would be a 6-point favorite. Number 12 is playing out of his mind right now for the Tigers. They play collectively some of the best defense out there. Some of the best. There's some other teams that are a little bit more dominant defensively, but they play really good team ball. I don't care for the offense. That's just, what I see in there.
You mean you don't like that little sneaky 3
No,
guys
like the
high?
way-
I just think, no.
No, I'm going to tell you, there is a sleeper on the Tigers.
Mhm.
And you don't see very much of him.
The little guy?
The number 30.
Yeah.
Number 30,
He's
he's
fast.
sneaky.
He's
and they
fast.
throw him in when you're not expecting it. Number 30 done some damage.
Well,
And I've seen that firsthand.
the Tigers had played the Saints head-to-head. It was 26-6 with a healthy number 5. I think if he comes in a limited role, it opens everything up for everyone else. And I do think on paper with the injury, the Tigers are a 6-point favorite, but I'll be taking the Saints.
So do you think that the Saints are going to play him offense only if he's not 100%? No
Well,
defense?
I spoke to G Unit on that. He wouldn't elaborate on it. All depends on how he is. How he is. And I think if we just had him on offense, if the Saints just had him on offense, that would be enough. That would be enough.
So Swami, you still flip-flopping like a political game? Or?
No, I don't think I think, you know, and knowing some of the coaches on the team, and there's one coach on the team that has history here and has championships and finds a way to win regardless. I may have to go to the Saints on this one.
I agree with the Swami and Sporting News. I have to pick the Saints. The Saints have been right there the whole season. I know the prognosticators said that they didn't have a tough schedule. You know, they had this or they had that, but they did have the right formula, and they did win. Whether you call it a 3-headed monster or a 1-headed monster, the guys produced this year, and I just cannot bet against them 2 weeks in a row. I'm taking the Saints. Let's move on to the next game. A tough defensive game, the Bucks versus the Backs. Who do you like, Swami?
The Backs. Ever since the Backs changed their offense, they've been on a roll. Still good defense. Still think they have the best linebacker in Division II.
That's a big statement.
And, you know, that offense has been on a roll. I think they're, what, plus 20 since they changed their offense. And a couple shutouts with their defense.
Right.
The first matchup, 7-0 OT before the offense was changed. I just think that the Backs have the ability to get outside of the Bucks. And I don't believe the Bucks have the ability to get outside of the Backs. I'm going to have to go out on a limb here and say Backs by 14.
Wow. Well, I definitely agree it would be a great game, but 14 points with two of the best defenses in Division II. Sporting News. Is this guy drinking next to me?
You know, he did throw a cup away before he got into the gates. I'm not exactly sure what was in there. I wasn't going back in there and check for it, but I'm not really sure. But I would have to say that you are correct with the top 2 defenses, or some of the top 2 defenses in all of our division. I would say that the Razorbacks passing game is going to be the difference in this game. I feel that that they're going to have the Buccaneers on their heels. It's tough to run right on them guys. I'll tell you that right now. That number 34 is the defensive player of the year candidate in my eyes.
No doubt.
I do think that the passing game will be the difference, and I would say it's a 6-point spread. I would say Razorbacks by 6, and that's who I'm going with.
Razorbacks by 6. To me, it's a coin flip. Gentlemen, I really don't know which way to go, but I'm leaning towards the Backs. I've told you all year that the Backs are real. Hopefully they'll prove me right again. I'm going to go with the Backs. Backs over the Bucks.
No spread there? No points? What's your points there, Si?
I'd say 1 or 2 points, depending on if they go for 2. I really don't see this being a blowout. No more than a touchdown either way, but I've chosen the Backs. Thank you guys for joining us this day. We'll see you next season.